Hey, welcome back to my channel, you gorgeous, magical master manifestors. This is Michelle with Soul Purpose Activation. And as per your request, I am going to talk to you about how to manifest your future spouse and or your soulmate, okay? So this is very exciting. I'm so happy to be able to bring this information to you. Now, this will be kind of a condensed version, basically a summary. I do promise to either explain in detail via shorter videos the actual individual steps and stuff, okay? Or just maybe one long video, probably shorter videos. But anyway, so the very first thing, and actually you guys, this doesn't have to be done in order, in this sequence, but this is components of successfully manifesting in your future spouse. All right. So as you're listening to this audio, just kind of check in with yourself and see where you may need to apply most of your energy. And then just go from there. Okay. So what I want to talk about first is your self-concept, your image of self, what you believe to be true about your ability to manifest your future spouse, what you believe to be true about relationships in general, what you believe to be true about your worthiness of, the kind of future spouse that you're wanting to come in. And this is often a step that needs to be done. I don't want to say in silence. That's not necessarily it. But often our self-concept can tend to be very subconscious. All right. These beliefs and these feelings about ourselves and our inner assumptions tend to be right below the surface of our conscious awareness. All right. So when you are working on your self-concept, first what you have to do is figure out what your current self-concept is. And honestly, you guys, our 3D reality is our little it's a tattletale. Your 3D reality will tell you exactly what is hidden below the surface of your conscious awareness, because your 3D reality is a direct manifestation of what is in your subconscious, okay? So first thing to do is really just kind of look at your patterns. What have you been experiencing so far in terms of relationships, romantic relationships? What is the pattern? Even if there is a lack of pattern, that itself is also a pattern. So if you have been experiencing a string of failed relationships, a string of disappointing dates, really look at the common denominator. And I'm not talking about yourself. We are the common denominator in all of our relationships. But what I'm talking about is look at the patterns in each relationship, like what qualities and what experiences were present in every single relationship. Okay. Now, this may need for you to get a pen and paper and actually write this stuff down so you can be able to, and actually what's coming to mind is getting out a piece of paper and starting off with the very first one. Your experience. I mean, you may need to journal. You can write this down as a list. But, if you've had, say, 3 relationships and some of the common occurrences that were in every single relationship was, lying or cheating or just someone who was very off and on or just very kind of maybe hot and cold with you, what dynamics were present for every single relationship or for the majority of the relationships that you have been in, okay? Because that's going to give you an idea of where your self-concept is at. So, sorry, if you are experiencing a myriad of hot and cold behavior, the push and pull dynamic, somebody who is just all for you 1 minute and then barely there the next, or if you are experiencing, being left for other people, someone who is always just kind of stepping out on the relationship, there is an assumption, there are subconscious assumptions, and there is somehow built into your self-concept a belief system that is causing those experiences to continue being manifested in your relationship, in your relationships, okay? So once you kind of figure out what your pattern is, the next thing that you would really want to do is come up with some really good core concept affirmations. So if you are constantly being cheated on or left for other people, like a really good core concept affirmation is going to be something along the lines of, I am worthy of loyalty, or I am worthy of faithfulness. I am worthy of my future spouse's full and undivided attention. Things along those lines, okay, to kind of cancel out what is hidden in your current self-concept that is causing you to experience the same challenging experiences over and over and over again with romantic partners. Now, if you're somebody who has had a very difficult time even manifesting a romantic relationship, that in itself is also a pattern, and there is something in your self-concept, your assumption about yourself in the context of relationships, that is manifesting itself into your 3D reality, so that you are it's actualized, you're experiencing it, right? And so it's the same way for that. So after you have been able to pinpoint where your self-concept is currently at, then we go to work on constructing what we want our self-concept to be. So really, you can look at the kind of relationship that you want to have with your future spouse or your soulmate, how you're wanting them to treat you, how you're wanting to feel when you're with them, all clear up into 3D aspects of what they look like, what's their financial health look like, what's their physical health look like, all of that. And then really look at your self-concept in terms of, how do you feel that you deserve that? Of course you deserve that. Of course you do. But there may be something hidden deep down inside of yourself that believes that you don't, okay? And if that is a self-concept that you have, A, you may not manifest that in, or B, you may manifest it in, but not be able to maintain it. You might self-sabotage it, or, you may manifest what I call a shadow manifestation of your future spouse, or of your ideal future spouse. A shadow manifestation is, it can be the direct opposite of what you are wanting to manifest in. It can be kind of like maybe a partial manifestation. Usually what I think about as far as a shadow manifestation, basically what that is the things in your self-concept that are still causing you to experience the opposite of what you are trying to consciously manifest in, okay? A shadow manifestation is a manifestation of your deep subconscious shadows, which is basically just saying, a shadow is maybe not feeling worthy enough, not feeling that you deserve it, maybe feeling like you are, worthless or a piece of trash, or, you know what I mean? So shadows can look like very many things. And often when we are experiencing a shadow manifestation, it is because there is something deep down inside that still remains, that has not been deconstructed and rebuilt. Okay. So, let's see, we just got through talking about, okay, so the next thing we usually need to do, if you are dealing with a shadow manifestation, like if you are constantly manifesting, say that you have been in this manifesting journey for a while and you are continuing to manifest the exact opposite what you want, you're not manifesting anything even close to what you want, or you continue to manifest partial manifestations. What we normally want to do is figure out our attachments, because sometimes our attachment to the outcome is directly hindering our ability to actually experience it. And this is where I get into talking about the Sedona method, okay? The Sedona method talks about wanting and how the energy of wanting something, and we don't want to get caught up in semantics. We don't want to get caught up in just the wording, okay? Think about the underlying energy, what wanting feels like. When it comes from a standpoint of lacking, you want something because you don't have it. You want something because you feel like you have to have it to be happy. That's the wanting we're talking about. All right. So if you are wanting a future spouse because without a future spouse, you feel like you are lacking in something. Like a future spouse is the only way that you can experience love or experience validation or experience feeling worthy. Wanting to feel worthy. So think about the energy of wanting in terms of law of attraction, like energy attracting like energy. Wanting is going to continue to bring to you events and circumstances, people and relationships that are going to keep you in that state of wanting. And I'm talking about that feeling state that you're lacking, okay? So if the reason why you are wanting a future spouse is so that you can feel loved, so that you can feel connected, so that you can feel a sense of home, so that you can feel secure, so you can feel comfortable, there's so many things that you could want a future spouse for. Okay, but if, and usually they talk about the Sedona method, there's 4 basic wants. And actually Tony Robbins breaks it down a lot better. So the 4 basic needs are variety, significance, security and or comfort, and then love and or connection. Okay, and then of course you can list very many subsets in each single need. So if one of the main reasons, if you don't have a future spouse, and not having a future spouse makes you feel unworthy, makes you feel insignificant, makes you feel like you don't matter, that would be the need of wanting significance, wanting to feel important, wanting to feel special. And it is the actual wanting of it that is keeping you from being able to experience it, that is blocking it from coming in. Because that continual feeling of wanting to experience significance, wanting to feel significant, is causing the universe to continually manifest into your experience the very same feeling. People, relationships, circumstances, events that keep you in that state of wanting to feel significant. All right. And the Sedona method talks about how you can't want something and have it at the same time. So part of this is where we talk about releasing your attachment to the outcome. Okay. Now, when we are talking about releasing, we're not talking about giving up. We're not talking about letting go of manifesting a future spouse in. We're talking about letting go of the toxic attachment to it, saying that if I don't have a future spouse, I will not feel worthy. If I do not have a future spouse, I cannot be happy. It's releasing the toxic attachment to it and coming into balance, okay? And the way that we do that is through the process of releasing. And I constantly, there's a few videos on this channel where I talk about it, but basically it's 4 questions, you guys, okay? First is, can I welcome this feeling? Can I welcome wanting to feel significant, for example? Okay. And I'll break these down like in further explanations and further videos, but for now I'm just going to give you the summarized version, okay? Question 2 is, can I let go of wanting to feel significant? Question 3 is, would I let go of wanting to feel significant? And question 3 is piggybacking off of question 2, because in this line of questioning, there is no right or wrong answer. It just is what it is. And so with question number 2, if you really feel like you can't let go, that's okay. Question 3 is there to say, okay, well, if you can't let go, would you let go? And then question 4 is when will you let go of wanting to feel significant? And of course, the best answer to that is now. I mean, you can let go of it next week or next month or next year if you want to, but if you want to experience feeling significant, then of course you want to let go of wanting to feel significant right now, so that, the experience of actually feeling significant can finally come through. Okay. And then once you've cleared the wants, once you've cleared or cleaned up your self-concept, once you have dealt with, any shadow, kind of like, basically it's like clearing out the channel, the channel between you and what you're wanting to manifest in, of any abnormalities, anything that may be causing the shadow manifestation to come through, okay? And then lastly, you just really want to work on your mental diet, all right? Work on keeping those self-concept affirmations, the self-concept that you want to have, that is manifesting in the actual future spouse soulmate that you want. All right. And keeping those affirmations at the foreground. Mental diet, and then just working with the law of assumption or the law of attraction. I'll do a video on the difference between the two. I prefer, after, years of working with the law of attraction, once I got into the law of assumption, things started manifesting very much quicker, okay? And just real quick, the most difference between the law of assumption and the law of attraction, there are no limitations in the law of assumption. In fact, the reason why people have trouble with the law of attraction is because of their assumptions about the law of attraction, what they can and cannot manifest, okay? Because there's a lot of rules and a lot of misconceptions that are built into the law of attraction that I believe are very disempowering, okay? And that's just my personal experience. Not here to burst anyone's bubble. If you are working the law of attraction and it is working for you magnificently, then just keep doing what's working for you, okay? If not, and you're kind of tired of not really manifesting in what you're wanting to manifest, definitely check out the law of assumption. Stay tuned to this channel because I will be talking about it a lot more. But getting back to what we're talking about, after you've done all of that, really all that's left is focusing on your mental diet, okay? Keeping those thoughts healthy, keeping those feelings healthy, calling into existence, what's that Bible verse? Basically, it's just saying that you're not thinking of something as off in the future. Keeping your mental diet is saying it's here right now. I'm experiencing it right now. All right, because we walk by faith and not by sight. It's very difficult for us when we are so identified with our physical bodies to interact in our world outside of the 3D reality, okay? But as far as the law of assumption and the law of attraction works, it says, and there's reasons why this is that I won't get into in this audio right now. You are not separate from your desired manifestation. The minute in your mind and in your heart that you decide that's what you want, instantly right then and there, it's yours. It's yours. All that is left is for it to be actualized in your 3D reality. And and thank goodness there is some delays, because it gives you time to kind of tweak and twitch what it is that you want to manifest in. Thank goodness. But while you are waiting for the manifestation to actualize, it's just keep telling yourself that it's here right now. It's in your hot little hands. You know, you do your visualizations as best as you can. You're calling whatever is not as if it already is. Okay, so if you're trying to manifest a future spouse, you put yourself into a mental and an emotional state of as if they were sitting right next to you right now. Okay, and this isn't something that you have to spend hours a day doing. In fact, I will also be sharing here pretty soon the amazing 17-second manifestation. Miracle, magical, I don't want to call it a technique, but it's amazing. Okay, and I talked about how, you know, this goes along the lines of having faith the size of a mustard seed. You don't have to spend hours a day trying to keep yourself focus on what you're wanting to manifest in. Basically, it's like you spend about 17 seconds in that mental and emotional state, and then you go about your day just enjoying life. Okay? All right? So that's basically how you manifest your future spouse in. I am going to, like I said earlier, kick off a series where we'll go over each and every little step in detail, how it works, how you do it, why it works. You know, if you're kind of like me, where it helps to figure out kind of like the energy of how something is structured and why it works. Okay, I'm going to be providing you with all of the details. Okay, you guys, so keep a lookout of that. I am so excited to start this with you, this series with you. If you have any questions or if you need maybe some extra guidance on something, just drop it in the comments below. Otherwise, you guys, if this resonated, if it helped you out, just do me a favor and smash the like button, comment, share, subscribe if you feel led to do so. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks, loves. Bye.